Hello and welcome to my review of the LED 15-watt moving headlight. My particular model is the Showcase Technologies LED, which contains a CREE 15-watt LED, which means it's the second generation of these 15-watt LED moving heads. The light fixture weighs 3 kilograms and contains a 15-watt RGBW CREE LED light source, which allows you to do full RGBW colour mixing, as opposed to using colour filter gels. The fixture has a 13-degree beam angle and a pan of 540 degrees and a tilt of 230. On the unit on one side you have an IEC in, a DMX 3-pin in and out socket. On the other side of the fixture is a 4-button LCD display. This is where you can set the unit into its preset modes and use master slave and DMX. The rear of the light head unit has a fan, and on the front is a lens with an adjustable focus on the base. On the base of the unit is another fan. There are 2 holes to affix a bracket like I have done there, as well as a loop there for your safety induction loop. Now the lights come in a very snazzy box, so in a moment let's have a look what comes inside of it. The first thing to greet when you open the box is the user manual, as well as a polystyrene insert containing an IEC lead, and rather nicely a DMX data cable, which is quite rare for most lights. After this is the light itself, which is once again tucked away in another piece of polystyrene. Now let's plug the light in and see what it can do. After turning on the power, the LCD will light up and say system reset, which is just a standard procedure to allow the light to configure itself to know where it is. Don't be alarmed if it jerks around in this time, as it just means that it's activating itself. Once it's done this, you can then select the modes of which you want. The LCD system uses the enter button to scroll through, so you've got reverse pan, reverse tilt, not actually sure what that is. That's to select between 14 channel mode and 5 channel mode for DMX. That is to select the pan angle, and that's to select the tilt angle. That's to reset, load, DMX address, and then when it says SON, that means that you're into the auto modes. So this one here is master slave, this is master show fast, that's to sound active, and that's the slave function. Oh, that, sorry, is the slow show. So if you select that, then press enter, it will go into its slow show. So I'll just show you now. So the gobo is now just slowly making its way around the room. To change out of this, just use the up and down buttons, so it will go into fast. The light will move around faster than that. So this is if you've got, say, sound active and it's not picking up as you would quite like it to do so. So I've now set it into sound active with just a simple drum loop going. Now that's one of the features that I do like of the light, is how it's sound active. It's not just a case of going off when there's nothing there, it just slows it down or keeps it in the current mode. And then when the music does get louder, it changes to a faster mode like it is doing now where it moved around. However, that also brings me on to the first problem, which is that the light, as you can see now, does go into strobe, which can be a bit of a problem when you have children's parties. Now the lights themselves are actually relatively low in the volume of operation. There are obviously 2 fans and 4 motors. However, this has not been a problem at all for me when I've been at gigs. They've not been noisy at all when the music is on. I think the gobos themselves are actually quite sharp. However, the problem with it having RGBW means that it is segmented inside of the light, meaning that sometimes the gobos can appear a little bit blurry due to the offset of the colours inside of the LED. Now I've now got my second unit out with master slave, just to the same wrap loop on sound active. As you can see on the slave unit, there is a blinking red LED to show that it is receiving a DMX signal. Now then, one of these lights is on reverse pan and reverse tilt, so they're technically doing exactly the opposite, which is how I have them set up on the top of speakers. Now I'll just leave the camera here so you can see the gobos as they go dashing past. But personally I think it's pretty bright. It's near enough broad daylight inside my bedroom at the moment, and I think that the lights do a pretty good job. I think the reason I got them was just to have a bit of an interesting effect on the top of my speakers, because kids just absolutely love gobos, and I think they just look really professional as well. So for the bigger gigs I use these in conjunction with my scanners. Now I'm going to release some fog so you can see the beams themselves, and I think that they look pretty sharp, apart from when it goes on to strobe. Now the red is definitely the weakest of the colours, as well as green, as terms of smoke. However, when it goes onto the blue and the whites, it's really quite crisp and the beams look fantastic. Unfortunately, I've not actually had a chance to use these with smoke out yet, but that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this quick video review of the Mark II 15 watt LED moving heads.